Hi guys, my name is Kate. In today's video, we are going to be going through 2 weeks of my online sales as a part-time clothing reseller between the dates of May 18th through May 31st. If you're new to my What Sold videos, I don't go through every single sale that I make in the time frame that I'm talking about, simply because my videos would be way too long. I just highlight certain sales because I want to talk about them for one reason or another, whether they sold really quickly or they're BOLOs, but I don't go through every single sale, like I said, because it would just make these videos really, really long. Sales have been really good for me. I believe that I have one sale to talk about from every platform, so at least one on Mercari, one on Depop, one on Poshmark, and one on eBay. I do also resell on Vinted, but I don't have any sales on Vinted, unfortunately, although I have been cross-listing every day to Vinted, so hopefully, or not every day, but every other day I've been cross-listing to Vinted, so hopefully that starts picking up over there. And without further ado, let's head into my What Sold video. All right, guys, hopefully I don't freeze up. For this video, I'm attempting to have my webcam on so you guys can see me. I will be in the bottom right-hand corner for this video. My lighting is kind of bad just because the sun has gone down for the day. It's about 10:30 p.m., but you guys will be able to see me for the first time in forever. I always record these videos on my couch, all comfy, and then I have my information just right here, all the statistics that I can talk about as I go through these sales. So if you've ever been curious, this is how I do my What Sold videos. We're going to start off with Mercari. I actually have 2 Mercari sales for between May 18th and May 31st, but I'm only going to talk about one of them because I've already discussed the other one in my other video that's recent, my Ship With Me video. So this is a pair of torrid medium wash distressed stretchy casual summer denim shorts size 14. In my description, I put the keywords mid-rise, beach, cute, and comfy. I paid $4 for these at a Deseret Industries thrift store. I love their women's shorts prices. They're all $4. I believe that the men's shorts are all $6, but the women's shorts are all $4. I knew I wouldn't be able to get a ton for these pair of shorts, but I had an inkling that I'd be able to sell them quickly. So they sold for an offer that I believe I sent out for $16.50. Actually, that sounds like an offer that I received, but either way, they sold for $16.50. My profit is about $12.40. That's probably going to be a little bit off, but around that amount. And I knew I wouldn't get like more than $15 in profit, but I knew it was going to be a quick flip, like I said. And so I did pick these up. This particular thrift trip, I actually picked up 2 pairs of torrid denim shorts. And I believe this is the second pair to sell now, if I'm not mistaken. And so both of those pairs went really quickly. So that's good to know if you come across a pair of torrid denim shorts anytime soon for a really low cost of goods. I definitely recommend getting them. And this only took 51 days to sell. So that's a relatively quick flip in my opinion. And yeah, let's move on to Depop. First sale on Depop is this pair of Ralph Lauren cream colorful floral fairy skinny ankle jeans pants size 10. In my description, I put the keywords mid-rise, pastels, 70s unique, goblin core, cottage core, romantic, and whimsical, as well as preppy. I put preppy as one of my hashtags for Depop. I bought these also at a Deseret Industries thrift store for $8. They sold for an offer that I believe I sent out of $20, which makes my profit $10.89. And these pair of pants took 258 days to sell. So a very, very long time. This was a style-based pickup. Ralph Lauren is a reputable brand, but is extremely oversaturated on the secondhand market because it's pretty easy to find. I just loved these pants. I love that they were pastel. I thought they fit into the goblin core and whimsical aesthetic really well. And my profit, like I said, was $10.89. But had I sold these jeans / pants on Poshmark or eBay, my profit wouldn't have been nearly as good because they take a lot more fees. And so in the future, I don't see myself picking up this pair of pants. Really happy they sold on Depop so I could get the max amount of profit, but I'd only pick up this pair of pants in the future if they were less than $4. They're really cute though. and I'm glad that they did eventually sell. I believe that I relisted these on Depop. The first time I listed them, they didn't have any interest on Depop, and then I relisted them and they started having interest, and I was getting multiple likers, and then someone came in and bought them. Next sale is a pretty high dollar sale. I've had a few. Well, they feel like high dollar sales because my profit is so big because Depop's fees are so low. And this is a plea to anyone watching this video now. If you have Depop tips, let me know. I heard recently in someone's Depop tips video that Depop does not like hangers. And it was so true because in their featured listings, there are no listings with hangers. They like flat lays and model pictures or a picture of a person wearing the clothing. So me and my husband, we might set up like a felt board where I can like just like a slanted felt board. That's how some resellers do it. So instead of hanging up my clothing, I'll still hang up some clothing, but I'll mostly try to flat lay it on like a slanted felt board. But getting on back to the listing, this is a pair, or not a pair, excuse me, this is a Northcrest denim pumpkin leaves fall autumn embroidered zip up jacket size 4X. In my description, I put the keywords casual 80s, 90s, grandma core patchwork, neutral September, October, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and retro. I actually bought this denim jacket from an estate sale for only $1. Technically, it was only 50 cents, but I had to take a few losses this day. I brought all the clothing home that I got from that estate sale, and some of those pieces had holes or stains that I could not fix. And so I just upped the price of some of my items. So technically, it was only 50 cents, but with my loss, my cost of goods is $1. It sold for my full asking price of $32, making my profit $29.49. And this only took 28 days to sell. If you don't know, Halloween/fall, I mean, Halloween is better, but Halloween/fall vintage, like embroidered sweaters and novelty stuff like this can sell really well and can sell all year round. This person actually messaged me and asked if I could do 25, but then before I could respond, or actually no, she sent me an offer of around like $25. And before I had the chance to accept her offer, she just bought my item outright. And then she messaged me saying, I didn't want anyone else to buy this item, so I just bought it. And then I texted her back, or I messaged her back, and I said, I would have accepted your offer, but thank you so much for your purchase. If you'd like to purchase anything else from my Depop store, let me know and I'll give you a great discount. So that is awesome. She obviously really, really wanted this piece. And what helped this piece also to sell was the fact that it was a size 4X. The weird thing about this estate sale was like the sizes of all her clothing was not consistent. And it made sense for her more vintage pieces, right? Stuff that she may have worn in her youth when she was a different size. But her clothing for now was like all different sizes. So that was kind of odd. But yeah, really quick flip and fun flip. I went to the bins today and I got a ton of inventory, but I really want to go to an estate sale tomorrow because I always find goodies like that at estate sales. This next sale is a pair of new J. Crew Factory Black Cream Canvas Ankle Wrap Espadrille Wedge Shoes, size 6.5. In my description, I put the keywords feminine, girly, neutral, casual, going out, beach, vacation, coastal. Did I put that? No, I thought I put that twice. Coastal, girls trip, and brunch. I bought these from a regular thrift store for $6. They sold for an offer of $24, making my profit $16.76. And these only took 8 days to sell. Technically, this first photo in my listing is a stock photo, but it is a nice white neutral background. And it was the best photo for this listing because it was lace up. It was like it had lace up that goes around the ankle. And so my photos obviously couldn't do that justice because I wasn't going to model them myself. They were way too small for my feet and I couldn't visually represent. I didn't have a good visual representation of them. The reason I picked these up from the thrift store was just because they looked brand new. I thought they were really cute and fun for summer, and my instincts were correct. These were blowing up on, well, I guess they weren't blowing up. It had 4 likes, but it felt like it was blowing up on Depop, and it sold, like I said, in 8 days for $24, which is great. And what's crazy is that is not the only pair of J. Crew shoes that I've sold in this 2-week time frame. So I wonder if J. Crew shoes actually do well. I don't usually find J. Crew shoes, but I just happened to find 2 pairs of J. Crew shoes recently, and they sold in a pretty timely manner. So maybe they're a bolo within the J. Crew brand. This next sale is this pair of Spanx medium wash, stretchy front seam, wide leg, mid-rise jeans, size large P, standing for petite. And then I had this little paragraph that I bought directly from Spanx website. And then in my own keywords to bring in customers, I put comfy, casual, cute, everyday, and trendy. I bought these at a Savers, which is crazy because Savers always marks up their jeans. But I found some hidden gems in the Savers denim section. For example, I found a pair of Cezanne, however you say it, gray denim pants, and they hadn't marked those up. And sometimes I'll find Pilcrow for a pretty good price. But I was so excited when I saw that little red tag, and then I got even more excited when I saw that the price was only $6. So they were probably marked at $5.99. And that they were also a wide leg was super exciting. These sold for $42.60, making my profit $34.74. And these only took 77 days to sell. Originally, I had these listed way too high. I had them listed at 75, and then I ended up bringing down the price down to 60. And then when I got that $42 offer, I was like, yes, I'll take it, because I think that Spanx doesn't sell as well as it used to. When I first started reselling, I had a bootcut or flare leg pair of Spanx pants, and they sold for over $50, but I don't think that Spanx pants sell that well anymore. This particular style from Spanx is actually a newer style though, so it was a pretty good flip. 2 more sales on Depop. Both of these next sales sold, I believe, on the same day. Actually, no, I think they sold on different days, but it was within less than 24 hours of each other. So one of these sold towards the nighttime, and then the other one sold midday. This is a pair of Corso Como dark brown leather boots, zip up, tall knee-high, classic boots, size 8 medium. I said that there were no flaws other than the inner rims of the boots, what was the problem with the inner rims of the boots? Oh yeah, there was just some black speckling. In my description, I put the keywords going out, Western, quality, feminine, closet staple, minimalist, and neutral. I actually only paid $3 for these at a thrift store. I was shocked. I was hoping that these were my size because I have been looking for a pair of tall brown leather boots, but these unfortunately were too small, and they were a medium size, so they wouldn't fit my fat feet. But only paid $3, which was so exciting. I did accept a $36 offer, making my profit $31.36, and these only took 14 days to sell, which really shocked me because we are in summer. I didn't think that anyone was looking for boots right now, but they are a really cute pair of boots. The brand Corso Como I've sold one other time. I don't think I've ever come across another pair of Corso Como shoes other than these, and then a pair of loafers that I sold when I first started reselling. But yeah, I've never come across this brand other than those 2 times. But Corso Como, they sell high quality leather shoes. They may sell other material shoes, but both times I've sold the shoes, they sold pretty quickly. So I think it is a nice brand. Let me see if I can show you guys right there. You guys can see the little C. Maybe that's their logo. But yeah, really happy with that sale. And last sale is definitely a very low dollar sale, but I still had a pretty good profit because, again, Depop's fees are so low. It is incredible. That's why I want to be making more sales on Depop. I listen to other people's Wetzel videos, and I just want to know your ways of how you are making so many sales on Depop, right? I'm open to offers, and I'm constantly listing on Depop, so I don't know what's going on. This is a pair of Sebago brown leather preppy fringe buckle classic loafers size 7W. Now, these were missing. Well, I couldn't tell if they were missing the insoles or if the insoles were worn down. I wonder if I have a picture. So right here, you can see a picture, and it was weird because the insole had these two little metal circle things, which made me think that the insole was missing. But I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you. Sebago is a really good shoe brand to resell. It retails for a lot, but these weren't in good condition. Because I said, the insoles might be missing, but I'm not sure. Please refer to photos. In my style tags, I put the keywords teacher, academic, dark academia, dressy, business casual, and preppy. Oh, preppy was in my title. Never mind. I paid $5 for these at the Goodwill outlet. I think I've found Sebago 3 times, and all 3 times it was at the Goodwill outlet. Now, these sold for $18, which was an offer that I accepted, but that made my profit $11.96, which honestly isn't bad, and they only took 15 days to sell. So I would do that again, right? The person got a good deal. Other than the insole, the sole of the shoe didn't have a ton of wear, and they were really cute and preppy, and I feel like the preppy aesthetic is going strong. It's definitely not like the most popular aesthetic right now. I feel like when we hit fall again, it's going to start boosting up. But technically, the Corso Coma boots and these Sebago loafers, I would say both fit into the preppy aesthetic. Now, that is it for Depop. Usually, I go on to eBay and then I finish off with Poshmark, but eBay has been popping off for me, so I actually made more sales on eBay in this 2-week time frame over Poshmark, and so I have more sales on eBay to go through with you guys. So next platform we're going to go through is Poshmark, where we're going to start off with this dress. This is a dress from the brand Elements. In my title, I put black, multicolored, geometric, stretchy, boho, whimsy goth, maxi dress, size 2X. In my description, I put the keywords V-neck, sleeveless, colorful, bohemian, beautiful, and wearable art. I bought this dress from the Goodwill outlet for $3. I accepted a $20 offer, making my profit $13. This dress did take 225 days to sell, though. The reason I bought this dress was because it was a size 2X. It was maxi length. I thought the print was very fun, and I just felt like somebody would like it. I do not know the brand Elements with a Z, but I think somebody got a great deal, and this is definitely something that I would pick up again from the Goodwill outlet. I've sold quite a bit of no-name dresses that are a longer length and plus size from the bins now. It's crazy, right? Like, I just go completely based off of style, and because I am paying a low cost of goods, I am okay with taking a risk on pieces like that. Next sale I wanted to go through with you guys is this pair of ultra hot pink black mesh Intuition 1.5 running tennis shoes sneakers size 8.5. Sometimes I have no idea what I'm putting in the title. I just base my title off of other people's titles with the same shoe, so I have no idea what the 1.5 stands for in this title. But anyway, I got all this information from some website that had this information, but it was useful information, right? It had the weight, the heel to toe drop, and runners and stuff like that look for these specifics. So it definitely, I feel like, helped my listing to sell. In my description, I put the keywords activewear, athleisure, fitness, outdoor, travel, hiking, and workout. Bought these from the good old Goodwill outlet for $4. They sold for $31. I had them listed for $35, and I use Prime Lister as my Poshmark automation tool. And so when someone liked my listing, they got that $31 offer sent out to them, and it was accepted by the buyer, making my profit $20.80. These did take 158 days, though, to sell. Usually, Ultra sells faster for me. I love the shoe brand Ultra because they have a wide toe box, which is good. It's good for healthy feet, right? Our feet aren't meant to be squished in shoes all day, so that's why these shoes are pretty popular. We're going to skip all of the orders that I talked about in my recent Ship With Me video, and we're going to skip on to the other pair of J. Crew shoes I was talking about that sold. This is a pair of J. Crew gray leather minimalist contemporary Edie loafer flats size 8.5. In my description, I put the keywords office, quiet luxury, business casual, preppy, teacher, and everyday. Technically, this pair of loafers were from J. Crew Factory, and those espadrilles that I sold on Depop were also from J. Crew Factory. So, and that's like a lesser line, a less expensive line from J. Crew, but they still sold both very quickly, and I was very pleased and happy with the $27 price. I paid, how much did I pay for them? I paid $6 for them at a thrift store. They sold for $27, making my profit $15.60, and these only took 15 days to sell. So compared to the other pair of J. Crew shoes, they took eight days to sell, and then these took 15 days to sell. I don't know, look into that, but J. Crew and J. Crew Factory shoes might be a really big bolo that I just had no idea about. Next sale I wanted to go through with you guys. I actually have that big bundle right before I sold this, but I didn't want to go through all of the logistics of that. But basically, I sold a bunch of my plus size shirts, most of them being a no-name brand that I got from the bins. But actually, I'll just show you guys. Let's just go back and I'll show you guys because it's interesting. I don't have the statistics for this bundle, but we can talk about it for just a sec because I feel like it's really interesting, especially if you are a newer reseller and you are curious. So this is a bundle. This is a Talbot's top, which I got. I thought it was really cute, and I paid $6 for that at a normal thrift store. Listed it for $32, and I believe it sold in the bundle within just a couple of days of me listing that. These other blouses, this Saint Tropez or this Saint Tropez, this Dex shirt, and then this Daniel Rain shirt were all brands I knew nothing about. But they were all plus sizes. This one was a 2X, this one was a 1X, and then the Daniel Rain was a 2XL. And Saint Tropez was also a linen blend. So I got these first three shirts, other than the Talbot's one, from the Goodwill outlet. So my total cost of goods was around $3 or $4, plus the Talbot shirt was around $10, which is awesome, right? So I definitely recommend if you are getting a very cheap cost of goods, like going to the bins or getting clothing from your neighbor, wherever you get cheap clothing, look out for the plus sizes and look out for specific factors that make plus size tops stand out, right? Boutique brands or brands you've never heard of, if they're plus size and they have like an it factor to it, like nice material makeup and stuff, can get them to sell. They were slow movers though, but I feel like it was worth the investment because they did eventually sell and they sold in a bundle altogether, which was really awesome. Back onto the statistics sheet, we have this April Cornell black floral beaded 90s gothic dark romantic midi dress size medium. I only put two keywords, witchy and whimsy goth. I'd never found the brand April Cornell until I found this dress. I actually think I recently featured this in an Idaho thrift haul, but I paid $7 for this at a Goodwill in Idaho. Sold for $30. I believe I had it listed for $45, but I got an offer like right away. And I was like, you know what? I'm taking that. My profit is $17, and this took 0 days to sell. It like sold. I got an offer when I woke up in the morning, and I accepted that. This dress was really pretty. It was black on black. There was like a pattern that had kind of a sheen to it that was floral, and then the neckline was beaded. And then on the back of the dress, it had like 2 tie strings. So it was a really pretty dress, and I knew somebody would like it. I just did not expect it to sell that quickly. So really pleased with that sale. And then last sale I wanted to talk about is another bundle, which I have statistics for. And this is a really exciting bundle because we have another item in this bundle that I got at that when I went thrifting in Idaho. So this first thing in the bundle is this pair of Arrow Soles green leather preppy academic feminine penny loafer heels size 8.5 medium. In my description, I put the keywords going out, classic, work, office, career, and business casual. This was a completely style-based pickup. I got these from the Goodwill outlet. I think I only got one other pair of shoes from this Goodwill outlet trip. I feel like I've been picking up less and less shoes every time I go to the Goodwill outlet. I find most of my good shoes now at the regular thrift store. Unfortunately, there was a Goodwill price tag on the insole, and I tried my best to get that thing off, but it was tearing up some of the insole, and so I ended up getting it wet, and I was smarter about it. But in the beginning, when I was trying to take off the price tag sticker, it was pulling up a little bit of the insole, unfortunately. But these sold really, really quickly in the bundle. I paid $4, and so technically the whole bundle sold for $80, but I split between the two things in the bundle how much, each profit is. So technically the profit for this pair of shoes is $40, or what it sold for $40, making my profit $28. And these only took 14 days to sell. Like I said, this was a style-based pickup pair of shoes. I like them because they were green, which I thought was interesting because, you don't often see like green loafers that are cute. I liked that these were preppy. I knew I could put like dark academia, preppy, classic, girly. Keywords often sell the shoes for me. And I've had really, really good luck selling shoes that are like loafer heels or just loafers when I put in keywords like preppy, academic, stuff like that. And then the other thing in the bundle, which is the thing I got in Idaho, is this, I don't know why I jumped down, is this new K-Unger, I don't know how you say that, sage green, satin ruched, sheath, knee-length, semi-formal dress, size 14. In my description, I put the keywords wedding guest, mother of the bride, black tie, elegant, and feminine. I paid $7 for this dress. Only $7. This was new with tags. I believe I listed it for, I'm thinking 80? Yeah, or maybe, I don't know. I think I listed it for 80. Maybe it was listed, maybe it was listed for 75. Yeah, I think it was listed for 75, and then the pair of aerosoles was, anyway, I had it listed for 75, and then the whole bundle sold for $80. But I couldn't find a stock photo for the green color, but I found a stock photo for this tan color, which was good because it kind of gave person an idea of what it looked like. So if I can't find a stock photo for the exact color of my clothing item, but I can find it in a different color, I'll just put the stock photo after my photos, because I still feel like stock photos can help to sell your item because people can see what it looks like on. I was super excited when I saw this dress because I saw that it retailed for $330, which is crazy. So I looked up on eBay, new with tags, K-Unger, formal dresses or knee-length dresses, formal, and the sell-through rate was pretty good, and the average sale price was also really good. And this was technically a larger size a little bit, so really, really awesome. Super happy about this sale. And technically my profit is $25 from this because I paid $7. And then, if I split the cost between the two things, sold for $40, making my profit $25. This took 0 days. It sold overnight in the bundle. So that was amazing. Super happy about that. All right, we're going to move on now to eBay. I have so many sales to go through on eBay. So if you're still here, sticking around, thanks for being here with me. I feel like I haven't done a what sold video in forever, although it was only a couple of weeks ago. My life is so busy that when I get back to like making my YouTube videos, it feels like huge space of time between each one. And luckily I have not frozen yet. I haven't looked too much at the camera, so I apologize for that, but I'm reading and looking at the photos on my screen. So that's why I haven't made eye contact with the camera. And I kind of forget that it's there because it's, blends into the black rim of the computer. Starting off strong on eBay with this pair of Echo black leather apron toe slip-on professional business dress shoes, size 8.5. In my description, I put the keywords wedding, church, going out, office work, and career. I got these at a thrift store near me for $7. And I listed them for $50. I believe I sent out a $40 offer to a watcher, making my profit $23.40. And these only took 21 days to sell. I love the brand Echo. I've sold a few pairs of Echo sandals this spring, summer season, and Echo men's dress shoes in good condition can sell pretty well. I think I could have gotten my full asking price of $50, but I'm glad these sold in only 21 days. And these were in like new condition. The only thing going against them was that they were kind of a smaller men's size, a size 8.5, which isn't super small for a man, but it's like pretty small. It's one of the smallest men's sizes. Moving on now, we're going to talk about this blouse because here is another blouse from a brand I know nothing about, but I got it at the Goodwill outlet and I thought it was pretty and it was a plus size. And what I mean by plus sizes, I try to avoid 1X because 1X is kind of equivalent to an extra large, but it's like a plus size. So what I consider plus size is 2X, 3X, 4X, 5X, 6X, or 2XL, 3XL, 4XL, 5XL. Although technically 2XL and 2X are different, I still consider those kind of both plus size. So this is a shirt. In my title for this shirt, I put tan jade black, pink, floral, stretchy, feminine, casual, 3/4 sleeve blouse, size 3X. And this is so annoying, but you know, guys, I think it was back in February, I believe. I can't remember which month, but eBay made it so it was no longer new without tags, or just pre-owned. It split the condition of your clothing item into excellent, good, fair, and I thought I bulk edited and made everything excellent again, but apparently I missed a few listings because this one says good, but that didn't deter the person from buying it. In my description, I said the pink color is a little different in person. I have a really, really hard time capturing orangey reds and pinks sometimes on camera in their actual color, just because I use artificial lighting and I don't know, maybe it's the tones in my room. But I also put my style tags going out, business casual, modest, and girly. Bought this from the Goodwill outlet, like I said, paid $3. In reality, I probably paid less than that, but every single time that I go to the Goodwill outlet, I always take home items, and then at home, I miss major flaws that I have to throw away. So, cost of goods, $3. And this sold for $19, making my profit $11.44. And this blouse took 103 days. So longer than I would like, but not super long. Like, I'm okay with that. Next sale is a really, really quick flip, which was shocking to me because these shoes were such a large size. This is a pair of Merrell Brown black waterproof Moab 2 outdoor hiking grunge trail boots, size 15, which I believe is, I don't know if there's a men's size 16. There probably is, but I think for like standard men's shoe sizing, it goes up to size 15. In my description, I put the keywords durable, rugged, camping, travel, and tread. I bought these actually from the Goodwill outlet for around $7. They sold for my full asking price of $35, which makes my profit $19.60. And these only took 5 days to sell, which is crazy. With Merrell shoes, like, as long as all the rubber and the leather is still sticking together and nothing's coming undone, if there's a little bit of dirt or a little bit of wear, they still sell because people are going to be wearing them hiking, camping, getting them dirty anyway. So I don't think they necessarily care that much. Next sale is a blouse, or more like a tunic thing. This Johnny Was white, colorful floral, 100% silk, sleeveless sheer tunic, size large. I think the fact that it was sheer was kind of working against it. But in my description, I put the keywords boho, bohemian, exotic, multicolor, tropical, Hawaii, see-through, lightweight, flowy, elastic waist, cinch, and unique. I got this from the Goodwill outlet. I've never found Johnny Was at a normal thrift store, but I found it now a few times at the Goodwill outlet, which is great. Paid $2. Silk is super lightweight, and this sold for $55, which I think was my full asking price. Maybe not. Maybe I just got an offer at $55. But originally I had this priced up much, much higher. My profit from this Johnny Was tunic is $39.80, and this did take 145 days to sell. So maybe I just had it priced too high, but I've seen other clothing resellers sell their Johnny Was silk tops that are colorful and beautiful like this for like high amounts. So I don't know why that one took so long to sell. This next sale is this sweet salt cream, colorful floral embroidered boho tassels midi skirt. Why did I say skirt? It's a dress. I don't know why it says skirt, but I says skirt, size 2XL. In my description, I put the keywords flowy, multicolor, peasant, bohemian, hippie, and modest. I bought this dress at the same estate sale that I bought that North Crest fall Halloween denim jacket from that sold on Depop. I only paid 50 cents for this dress. It sold for $19, making my profit $13.94, and this only took 34 days to sell. I was really surprised that this had so much interest. This particular dress had a ton of interest on Depop as well. I mean, I mostly got it because it was a larger size, and I have sold larger size dresses from the brand Sweet Salt before, but apparently this one just had it factors, and so it was getting a lot of attention, and happy that it sold. Next sale is actually a purse sale, so that's exciting. This is a Kuba round genuine leather slouchy buckles large grunge shoulder bag purse. In my description, I put the keywords casual, neutral, travel, going out, and large capacity. Kuba, it actually has some pretty good comps for their leather purses. I don't know if it's a vintage brand or what, but there was some like oxidation or whatever to the metal, and so it kind of had turned some of the parts of the buckles green. And so I did mention that, and that's why I had it at such a low price. But I got this from the Goodwill outlet for $5. It sold for $24, which I believe was my full asking price. I had relisted it a few times on eBay. But that makes my profit $13.24, and this took 107 days to sell. This purse also had a lot of interest on Depop, but alas, ended up selling on eBay. This dress is a dress from Columbia. It is purple outdoor, long sleeve, half zip, mock neck, omni wick, which I have no idea what that means, but omni wick is on a lot of Columbia's clothing. Mini dress, size small. In my description, I put the keywords hiking, camping, grunge, versatile, warm, and sporty. I got this at a thrift store for $7, which in hindsight is too much. Max I want to pay for a Columbia mini dress or any Columbia dress is $6. $5 would be even better, but the longer the dress is going to help it to sell. But I paid $7. It only sold for $20, which I believe was an offer that I sent out. I had it listed for $25, and then, I got a watcher and I was like, okay, I'm going to offer them $20. My profit is only $8.20, but I'm still happy with this flip because it only took 19 days to sell, which is really good. And now I know and can confirm that Columbia dresses, I've sold 2 now, and they sell really quickly for me. They don't sell for a ton, but if I can get them for cheap, they're worth picking up. And like I was talking about in that listing, I found a stock photo for the dress, and it's really cute on the girl, but I could not find it in the purple color. So I had it as my third photo instead of my first photo because I didn't want to deceive someone who thinks, oh, that's a pretty gray dress. And then they click on my listing and they're like, wait, it's actually purple, right? And then a few more sales to go through with you guys. This is a purse from Lucky Brand. So we got another purse sale, which is great. This is a Lucky Brand tan leather adjustable crossbody medium size tassel detail purse. In my description, I put the keywords Western rodeo cowgirl, neutral feminine going out, quality, and boho. This purse was pretty clean. It was very clean on the outside, but there were a few marks. I believe there were about 5 on the bag, which I all had pictured. And this was genuine leather, and it definitely is very like Western boho-esque. Did I even put Western or cowgirl? Oh yeah, I did. Western rodeo and cowgirl in my description. Listed this for $28, sold for my full asking price. Got this at the bins for $3, sold for $28, like I said, making my profit $18.28. This did take 268 days to sell, though. So I definitely think I had it priced too high. Sold for $28, but I think in reality, if I want to get a quick sale on a Lucky Brand genuine leather purse, I got to list it more around like $18 to $22. Next sale is another pair of athletic shoes. I feel like I've been selling a lot of athletic shoes lately. Usually I don't find athletic shoes in good condition, but I don't know what's happening. I've been finding a lot of good athletic shoes in great condition. This is a pair of Asics Gel Nimbus 23 blue neon yellow athletic running shoes, sneakers, size 9. In my description, I put the keywords fitness, activewear, gym, workout, reflective, and cushioned. And then I had this little paragraph that I got from somewhere. I believe this was a more recent style from Asics, and I only say that because it was getting a ton of interest, which isn't very usual for Asics. I've sold a few pairs of Asics now, but I believe that the Gel Nimbus 23 is a pretty recent style. And this colorway was also really nice, right? With the neon yellow and the blue. I paid $8 for these at a thrift store. They sold for my full asking price of $35, making my profit $18.60. And these only took 4 days to sell, which was a big surprise to me because I knew ASICS was a good shoe brand to resell, but I didn't know that it was that good. All right, another thing that sold really, really quickly is this pair of pink Victoria's Secret red and brown bundle of 2 lightly lined t-shirt bras size 38B. In my description, I put the keywords everyday, casual, comfy, underwear, and wear everywhere, like meaning you could wear these bras everywhere, like the perfect everyday bra. I listed these as new because technically one was new. And so in my description, I just specified that one of them was new, the red one was new, and that the brown one wasn't new, but it was in excellent condition. I got these in Idaho as well, but I got these at a yard sale. And for both of the bras, I paid $1. They sold for my full asking price of $25. I actually did get a message from somebody saying, hey, I could do 20. But these were blowing up with watchers. I knew that they would sell for my full asking price, which they did. So my profit is $18. And this only took 5 days to sell. So really happy about that. I was not expecting that, but I found a Torah dress also at that estate sale, and that Torah dress has also been getting a lot of interest. So I love yard sales and estate sales, so I might be going to a few tomorrow. This next sale is not a clothing sale, but I've seen, I believe mostly on Facebook, short videos of resellers selling like makeup products and skincare stuff like that. Anyway, this is a set of skincare stuff from the brand Ahava. I believe I'm saying that correctly. And I was in Savers and I was kind of looking in different sections other than the clothing sections to see if I could find profitable stuff to resell. And I came across an area that had like creams and like beauty stuff. And this stood out to me because it was like, still in the package, and it said from the Dead Sea, which sounded exotic and expensive. So this is a Ahava Beauty from the Dead Sea Body Quartet Kit, Mineral Body Lotion plus 3 others. In my description, I put the keywords self-care, spa day, and skincare. This set included mineral body lotion, advanced foot cream, advanced hand cream, and advanced mineral shower gel. I have no idea what shower gel is. I've seen shower gel, I've heard about shower gel, but what actually is shower gel? Anyway, paid $6.30 because Savers is not a nonprofit, so they charge tax. So $6.30. And I sold them for $23, making my profit $11.58, and these took 58 days to sell. So I would do that again. I would love to sell more beauty products in the future because there is definitely a market for them. People want to take care of their skin. And I think I have one last sale to go through with you guys. And this is a very high dollar sale. When the sale came through, I was ecstatic. This is a Marc Jacobs black patent leather crossbody shoulder turnlock satchel purse. In my description, I put the keywords going out, feminine, classic, minimalist, and contemporary. I also got from, I don't believe it was Marc Jacobs' website directly, but another website that was selling this exact same purse, these few sentences, and then all this information, which definitely helped the item to sell because it had the length, the width, the height, handle drop, hardware, exterior material, all that stuff. And I actually got this for free from my aunt. She gave me a box of some clothing, and I threw some of that stuff away, but she actually had this nice Marc Jacobs bag, which looked brand new, and then she had a hobo black wallet, which I ended up selling on Facebook Marketplace, but the package never started tracking, even though I dropped it off, and so I just refunded her, and I didn't lose any money because I had no money into it, but I didn't make any money. But my cost of goods for this was also $0. And I had it listed for $100, got a watcher, offered the watcher $80. It sold for $80, which makes my profit $60.80, and this took 79 days to sell. So I would do that all day long. Anyway, that is it for the sales. And yeah, glad that my camera stayed with us for the entire part of me filming on my computer. That is it for this What Sold video. Thank you so much for tuning in. My new listing schedule is every other day I have been listing 15 to 20 new listings, and then on the off day I've been cross listing, and that has been making me tons of sales. It's got me a really good routine of listing consistently, but it's not too much that I can handle. Before, I was trying to list 15 to 20 things a day as well as cross list, and that was just not sustainable because I'm a mom. That's my full-time job. I would love to be a reseller full-time, but I choose to be a mom full-time instead. That is all I have to say though for this video, and so hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.